There we go. All right, so now we're going to do a kind of a brand new or simplified version to get you started again. Okay.
Okay.
Now, even with the cut down version, it still is the Eightfold Noble Path, and we're going to work with four of those things. The first one we're going to work with is Noble Right View. And that while that's a very, very high place to start, we can start on it in the sense that we know that it is better, higher class, to be able to watch the mind and to calm the mind than it is to let the mind run helter-skelter. Is that
Mm-hmm.
correct? That's why you called me, okay? All right, so that's one's right view that we're going to just start with. And so then the second thing, which is really the important part, is to develop the skill to remember. That's sati. Talked about it many times before, but in this case, we're going to start practicing it again, and that this is the skill that we want to develop. Not concentration, not samadhi, not yet, not until we get a good definition of it, but rather what we're going to do is something very simple. We're going to stop thinking about whatever we were thinking about at that point of sati and remember to come back to the here now with the breath. And the first thing that you're going to do is take a deep, deep, long, deep breath to completely fill up the lungs, because mostly people breathe shallowly. And
Yeah, indeed. In my worst periods, I would hyperventilate, so I know what you're talking about. Like it was would really shallow.
okay, actually, it depends upon how one hyperventilates. But normally, when they use ventilation, they're talking about actually breathing. But mostly, a hyperventilation is when there is more oxygen in the bloodstream than is needed,
Mm-hmm.
completely a whole lot more than is needed. All right. We actually want to work in that direction. We almost want to bring it up to how much is too much so that we've got to sort of fill up the tank without spilling oxygen all over the ground like at a gas station. Okay? We're going to see what we can do to top up. And so, but we're going to do it slowly and easily, especially a nice out breath. And as you play with the out breath, you're going to be letting it be longer and longer, but not too long like you would if you were trying to meditate or anything. Just a relaxed, long breath. Let me give you an example. Okay, so look how long that took. And so we're going to work with that. That's something like about a 5 second in breath, and then maybe an 8 to 9 second out breath. And then between another second or two, and then you start to in breath and the out breath sequence. And you'll do 3 or 4 of these, and then you'll continue at that rate, but allow it to be an easy breath, a really easy one, so that it becomes more shallow. To where in this first case, we're actually going to fill up the whole body.
This means it should be done throughout the day, right? Most of the
Well,
time.
right now, we're just going to get back into the practice of it when you're sitting with nothing much else to do, or you can actually set yourself as a timer and do it formally. But it is actually better whenever you do it, to not be around other people. This is something that you want to do in seclusion, but it doesn't matter what posture you're in. The important thing is to remember to do this. Because when you do this, you have to think about doing it. Isn't that amazing? This is hard to do unless you're thinking about doing it. And while you're thinking about doing this, you're not thinking about the past or the future or problems. We're just thinking about right now. And we begin to enjoy doing this. This is the thing that we want to build up, is the right effort. This has got to be an easy thing to do, an easy effort, something we really like. We want to do it. And we begin to have a change of attitude, and that change of attitude, hey, I can do this. Hey, I'm a winner here. You've heard all of this stuff before.
Yes,
And so
actually, I'm
that's
doing
all.
it wrongly.
All right. So this is all we have to do, is work on these four things. Right view, I can do this, or it's good to do this, as opposed to worrying about some medical condition or some doctor or some thing that happened a long time ago. We're not going to worry about any of that kind of stuff. We're only going to think about, in that right view, is that it's better to be here now watching the breath, taking long, slow, deep, happy breaths. That's a better thing to do than let the mind wander around. So that any time that you catch that your mind is wandering around, then you'll say, okay, we're going to come back and we're going to take these long, slow, deep breaths. And we want to also watch for that out breath. That out breath is a really important point. And that out breath is a release, a relaxation, a let go, a sigh of relief. So that you really, really let go of whatever it was that you were worried about before you thought about doing this. Make sure that you let that out breath take all of the heat out, so that then when there's no more heat, those out breaths will begin to be what Bhikkhu Buddhadasa calls little Dhammarato moments. They're going to be very joyful. So
I
long
miss
as you're
coolness. For the most part, it's been heat only.
So be on guard for that heat. Be on guard for that. Let that heat that comes be your trigger to say, wait a minute, I'm going to take a really deep in breath, and then I'm going to let a big, nice sigh out. This is the Buddha's instruction number one of Anapanasati, that long, deep in breath and a really nice sigh, let go on the out breath. And you do that for a while and then leave it at about that same rhythm, but make the breathing a little easier. And just sit there in that sort of, wow, this is so wonderful, dreamy state. The next thing you know, the mind will wander away again. Next thing you know, you'll catch it. And it literally may be the next thing you know, because that's the whole point of waking up. But when you do, you can say, aha, I caught you again. And then we start that back into those long, slow, deep breaths. Step number one, step number two, begin to experience the body. But above all, give pleasure. That this is an easy practice to do, and you're successful at it. And the more you practice it, the better you'll like it.
Okay.
So let's give it a go right now. Let's practice together. You just sit there and start taking deep breaths, and I'm going to watch. Okay, you practice like that. Then you let the breath become about the same pace, but you let the breathing be easy. Or you can speed up a bit. And you just let it be like that. But if it occurs to you that your mind has wandered away and not watching the breath, then come back and do this all over again. Right? And
Right.
now you know. You've practiced that for a while, and we'll talk to you later. This is a short one, but it's exactly what we need to start doing.
The introduction, right?
Yeah, because you've already heard so much Dhamma before.
Okay, thank you then. See you next time. Bye bye.
Practice well. Enjoy, my friend. Enjoy.
Thank you a lot. Bye bye.